What's going on, guys? Chris, BeerMakersFan, Prince here in a little place I like to call the Fantasy Bar. And if you're a DFS player or a Roto-Grinder subscriber, you may have stopped by the Fantasy Bar and checked out the Daily Fantasy Six-Pack. Hell, you may be a regular here in the Fantasy Bar. Even if not, welcome in. And good news, I've joined a team over at Fantasy Insiders to bring you all of my season-long information, rankings, picks, hot takes, and various videos covering all the season-long information you're going to need to hit a home run in your draft. So in addition to the DFS work I'm going to do, you're going to find me over at Fantasy Insiders. And today, what we're going to discuss in this video, guys, I think are home runs in your draft that you can draft in the 8th round or later that can be league winners for you. What we saw last season, guys such as Alvin Kamara, Robbie Anderson, we want to hit that home run late in draft. So I'm here to discuss 6 guys I think fit the bill. So let's jump in. My first play, running back, Nyheim Hines of the Indianapolis Colts. So I love the value on Nyheim Hines in drafts right now, going late in the 10th round, the 46th running back off the board, well after teammate Marlon Mack, who everybody's excited about at the 32nd running back off the board. But a lot of things alike about the Colts here. First, Andrew Luck back in that lineup. I think that's going to be great for the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, going to make a huge difference. The offensive line got some revamping, spent some draft capital on that line. And Hines, a guy that they've used all over the field. So no matter who wins the starting job there for the Colts, this is going to be a 3-headed monster of running backs. But Hines has carved out a role regardless, can play slot receiver, played it in college, so we know he has that skill set available. This is not what I call a deep receiving core in Indianapolis, so he'll get opportunities right away, right out of the gate. Plus, according to Warren Sharp, the easiest schedule against the run in the league goes to the Indianapolis Colts. I think Nyheim Hines has a big impact in his rookie year. Grab him late in the 10th round. Now let's get you a wide receiver that's going way too late in my opinion. That's Kenny Golladay of the Detroit Lions. Now Golladay I think is going to really step in and be a red zone weapon here. We've seen it in flashes. 2 touchdowns in the opening week last season. Only played 11 games because of injury and only saw about 4.5 targets a game. But Eric Ebron and his 15% target share no longer in Detroit. And I think Detroit going to be throwing a lot early and often, a top 10 team in passing attempts last season, and Golladay going as a ridiculous 58th receiver off the board in the 13th round. I think he has the upside to do as well as a Golden Tate or a Marvin Jones. You get that in the 13th round. Sign me up all day. Love the upside if he can stay healthy for Kenny Golladay in that 13th round. All right, next play for us is tight end Jordan Reed of the Washington Redskins. Now we know Jordan Reed, an injury concern. That's year in, year out. You're going to have to deal with that. But the upside is through the roof for Jordan Reed. Twice over the last couple seasons has finished as the tight end 1. And Alex Smith coming over to Washington, I think it's going to mean great things here for Jordan Reed. Smith has supported a top tight end in 7 of his last 8 seasons. And according to Pro Football Focus, leads all passers since 2011 with a 27% target rate to the tight end position. So the ADP is starting to creep up a little bit. If you're drafting early here, early to mid-August, Jordan Reed still underrated. I think that ADP is going to creep up here as we get better reports about his health. But for now, I think people are sleeping on Jordan Reed. If you don't trust the injury, you grab another safe tight end. You even pair him up with a guy like Vernon Davis late if you're in a deep league. But as the 9th tight end off the board in the 8th round, I think Jordan Reed, those guys that can win your league for you. Grab Jordan Reed while you can before that price starts to creep up. All right, let's go back to the wide receiver position. A guy I'd love this season late in drafts. That's Mike Williams of the Los Angeles Chargers. Now the Chargers, you take Hunter Henry, you take Antonio Gates out of this lineup. That's 32% of their red zone targets. And Williams himself says, I'm going to be a weapon in the red zone. Now, we take everything the players say with a grain of salt. But Phillip Rivers, his coaching staff, everybody is talking up Mike Williams. And let's not forget, last season at Clemson, 98 receptions in 15 games, 1,361 yards, and 11 touchdowns. That's the reason this guy was the 7th pick in the draft. So everybody's talking about John Ross, hyping him up, a former top 10 draft pick. I don't hear the same kind of hype on Mike Williams. And the Chargers not only missing red zone targets, but the 4th most vacated targets overall. And Phillip Rivers, top 10 in attempts inside the red zone. So Mike Williams going as the 50th wide receiver off the board in the 11th round, I think is an absolute steal. A guy that would not shock me to see him get double-digit touchdowns this season. And even his teammate, Tyrell Williams, will give you a little bonus pick as the 65th wide receiver. Whichever Williams you prefer. For me, it's Mike, but Mike or Tyrell, great values here late in your drafts in the double-digit rounds. All right, back to the running back position here with an underrated Aaron Jones of the Green Bay Packers. Now, this is a situation I call it a murky situation, and this is where you can grab value when people just aren't sure which guys are going to be. The ADP tends to fall, and that's what's happening here with Aaron Jones. Latest ADP value in the 9th round as running back 41 off the board. Jamal Williams going ahead of him in drafts. Ty Montgomery going right after him in drafts. But last season, and I know it's a limited sample, 5.5 yards per carry for Aaron Jones. His efficiency, according to NumberFire, was right there at a historic level with a guy like Alvin Kamara. And maybe most important here, Aaron Rodgers absolutely loves Aaron Jones. And we know Rodgers has a lot of pull in that offense. If he wants a guy in the field, you're going to see a lot of Aaron Jones on the field. Now, injuries are concerned. Supposed to be back at practice today as we're recording on August 9th. And to start the season, yes, it'll be Jamal Williams and Ty Montgomery, but the team faces Chicago and Minnesota to start off. So I don't think those are two easy rushing matchups for this team. Could see a subpar Jamal Williams. That may make Aaron Jones even more exciting for these Packers to get in that lineup. But I think he's clearly the best running back on that team. He'll get a chance eventually. I think when he does, he runs with it. Now, you run with it with a 9th round pick in your draft. Definitely a guy that can help win your league. All right, we got to get your quarterback here. Last pick here in this video. We're going to roll with Patrick Mahomes of Kansas City. Now, the weapons alone make Mahomes a huge target of mine. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins, Kareem Hunt out of that backfield. That's about the best set of weapons that anybody could ask for. Now you add the running ability that Patrick Mahomes brings to the table. That's going to add to his floor and give him a high ceiling. His rocket arm, this guy can make every throw on the field, including the deep ball, which is going to be great with receivers like Hill and Watkins who can make plays down the field. You add that to Kansas City's horrendous defense, which means we could see a lot of shootouts here. Patrick Mahomes has massive upside late in your draft. Now, make it off to a slow start. Very tough schedule to start the season, but Andy Reid, 11 top 10 scoring offenses over his career here. So Kansas City will be in shootouts. They have proven to score points here. And Patrick Mahomes, as the 16th quarterback off the board in the 11th round, is a guy that gives you top 5 upside at a discounted price. Make sure you grab some shares of Patrick Mahomes late in your draft in that 11th and 12th round range. All right, guys, that'll wrap us up here for our home run hitters. Guys, you can draft late in your draft. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And if you did, go and check out the all-new Fantasy Insiders. Whether you're playing best ball, season long, dynasty, whatever format you're playing, we're here to help you nail that draft and stay with you throughout the season to take home those championships. So make sure you check out the site. If there's any video ideas you guys want to see, hit me up at BeerMakersFan, at Fantasy Insiders, and we'll let it rip. So for Fantasy Insiders, I am Chris BeerMakersFan Prince saying salute, best of luck in those drafts, and we'll see you down the road.